Hello and welcome to Mrs. Pam Reads. I'm coming around here. Whoop. Hey guys. For this video, we are continuing in chapter 15 in the book A Man Called Ove by Fredrik Backman. And in the beginning of chapter 15, we left Ove at the train station on the edge of the tracks, and someone had just screamed. So let's see what happens next. Someone had just screamed. Here we go. And that's when he hears the first scream. Ove looks up just in time to see the suit-wearing man in his black overcoat starting to sway back and forth like a panda that's been given a Valium overdose. It continues for a second or so. Then the suit-wearing man looks up blindly and his whole body is struck with some form of nervous twitching. His arms shake convulsively, and then, as if the moment is a long sequence of still photographs, the newspaper falls out of his hands and he passes out, falling off the edge onto the track with a thump, as if he were a sack of cement mixture. The chain-smoking old girls with the county council logos on their breasts start shrieking in panic. The drug-taking youths stare at the track, their hands enmeshed in their backpack straps as if fearing they might otherwise fall over. Ove stands on the edge of the platform on the other side and looks with irritation from one side to the other. For Christ's sake, fumes Ove to himself at long last as he jumps down onto the tracks. Grab hold here, will ya? He calls out to one of the backpackers on the platform. The stultified youth drags himself slowly to the edge. Ove hoists up the suit-wearing man in a way that men who have never put their foot in a gym yet have spent their entire lives carrying concrete under each arm tend to be able to do. He heaves up the body into the backpacker's arms in a way that Audi driving men wearing neon bright jogging pants are often incapable of doing. He can't stay here in the path of the train. You get that, don't you? The backpackers nod in confusion and finally, by their collective efforts, manage to drag the suit-wearing body onto the platform. The county council women are still screaming, as if they sincerely believe this is a constructive approach under the circumstances. The man appears to be breathing, but Ove stays down there on the track. He hears the train coming. It's not quite the way he planned it, but it'll have to do. Then he calmly goes into the middle of the track, puts his hands in his pocket, and stares straight into the headlights. He hears the warning whistle like a foghorn, feels at the track shaking powerfully under his feet, as if a testosterone-fueled bull were trying to charge him. He breathes out. In the midst of that inferno of shaking and yelling and the chilling scream of the train's brakes, he feels a deep relief. At last. To Ove, the moments that follow are elongated, as if time itself has applied its brakes and made everything around him travel in slow motion. The explosion of sounds is muted into a low hiss in his ears, the train approaching so slowly that it's as if It's being pulled along by two decrepit oxen. The headlights flash despairingly at him, and in the interval between two of the flashes, while he isn't blinded, he finds himself establishing eye contact with the train driver. He can't be more than 20 years old, one of those who still gets called the puppy by his older colleagues. Ove stares into the puppy's face, clenches his fists in his pocket as if he's cursing himself for what he's about to do. But it can't be helped, he thinks. There's a right way of doing things and a wrong way. So the train is perhaps 15 yards away when Ove swears with irritation, and as calmly as if he were getting up to fetch himself a cup of coffee, steps out of the way and jumps up on the platform again. The train has drawn level with him by the time the driver has managed to stop it. The puppy's terror has sucked all the blood out of his face. He is clearly holding back his tears. The two men look at each other through the locomotive window as if they had just emerged from some apocalyptic desert. And now realized that neither of them was the last human being on Earth. One is relieved by this insight, and the other disappointed. The boy in the locomotive nods carefully. Ove nods back with resignation. Fair enough, thought Ove, no longer wants his life. But the sort of man who ruins someone else's by making eye contact with him seconds before his body is turned into blood paste against said person's windshield, damn it, Ove is not that sort of man. Neither his dad nor Sonia would ever have forgiven him for that. Are you all right? One of the hard hats calls out behind Ove. Another minute and you'd have been a goner, yells one of the others. They stand there staring at him, not at all unlike the way they were standing just now and staring into that hole. It seems to be their prime area of competence, in fact, to stare at things. Ove stares back. Another second, clarifies the man who has a banana in his hand. It could have gone quite badly, that, sniggers the first hard hat. Really badly, the other one agrees. Could have died, actually, clarifies the third. You're a real hero. Saved their life. His. Saved his life, Ove corrects, and hears Sonia's voice in his own. Would have died otherwise, the third one reiterates, taking a forthright bite of his banana. On the track is the train with all of its red emergency lights turned on, puffing and screeching like a very fat person who's just run into a wall. A great number of examples of what Ove assumes must be IT consultants and other disreputable folk come streaming out and stand about dizzily on the platform. Ove puts his hands in his trouser pockets. I suppose now you'll have a lot of bloody delayed trains as well, he says, and looks with particular displeasure at the chaotic press of people on the platform. Yeah, says the first hard hat. Reckon so, says the second. Lots and lots of delays, the third one agrees. Ove makes a sound like a heavy bureau that's got a rusted up hinge. He goes past all three of them without a word. Where are you off to? You're a hero, the first hard hat yells at him, surprised. Yeah, yells the second. A hero, yells the third. Ove doesn't answer. He walks past the man behind the plexiglass, back out into the snow-covered streets, and starts walking home. The town slowly wakes up around him with its foreign-made cars and its statistics and credit card debt and all its other crap. And so, this day was also ruined, he confirms with bitterness. As he is walking along the bicycle shed by the parking area, he sees the white Skoda coming past from the direction of Anita and Rune's house. A determined woman with glasses is sitting in the passenger seat, her arms filled with files and papers. Behind the wheel sits the man in the white shirt. Ove has to jump out of the way to avoid being run over as the car races round the corner. The man lifts a smoldering cigarette towards Ove through the windshield and offers a superior half smile, as if it's Ove's fault that he's in the way, but he's generous enough to let it go. "Idiot!" Ove yells after the Skoda, but the man in the white shirt doesn't seem to react at all. Ove memorizes the license number before the car disappears round the corner. "Soon it'll be your turn, you old fart," hisses a I can't even say that. Malevolent voice behind him. Interesting. Somebody's behind him and says, "Soon it'll be your turn, you old fart." Ove spins around with his fist instinctively raised and finds himself staring at his own reflection in blonde Weed's sunglasses. She's holding a damned mutt in her arms. It growls at him. "They were from social services," she jeers with a nod towards the road. In the parking area, Ove sees that imbecile Anders backing his Audi out of his garage. It has those new wave-shaped headlights, Ove notes, presumably designed so that no one at night will be able to avoid the insight that here comes a car driven by an utter shit. Goodness. "What business is it of yours?" Ove says to the Weed. Her lips are pulled into a sort of grimace that comes as close to a real smile as a woman whose lips have been injected with environmental waste and nerve toxins is ever likely to achieve. "It's my business because this time it's that bloody old man at the end of the road they're putting in a home. And after that, it'll be you." She spits at the ground beside him and walks towards the Audi. Ove watches her, his chest puffing in and out under his shirt. As the Audi swings around, she shows him the middle finger on the other side of the window. Ove's first instinct is to run after them and tear that German sheet metal monster, inclusive of imbeciles, Weeds, growling mutts, and wave-shaped headlights, to smithereens. But then, suddenly, he feels out of breath, as if he's been running full tilt through the snow. He leans forward, puts his hands on his knees, and notices, to his own fury, that he's panting for air, his heart racing. He straightens up after a minute or so. There's a slight flickering effect in his right eye. The Audi has gone. Ove turns and slowly heads back to his house, one hand pressed to his chest. When he gets to his house, he stops by the shed, stares down into the cat-shaped hole in the snowdrift. There's a cat at the bottom of it. Might have bloody known. And that is the end of chapter 15. So Ove continues just to have a whole bunch of inconvenient happenings, or bad luck maybe you want to call it. I don't know. He's having a tough time still. But I'm still pretty sure at the end of the story that he's going to have a change of heart and be a happy man. At least I hope so. All right. Also, you guys, I'm sorry if I blunder over words. I suppose maybe I should look up on the internet whether it's Audi or Audi. But I don't really care what it is. So I guess that makes me not a maybe superstar reader or whatever that would be. But I'm me, and you're you, and we're here to share a story. And I hope that you enjoy it. I apologize too for a couple of the swear words in there. They caught me by surprise. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great afternoon, evening, morning, rest of your day. Here's my little son. I'm looking at my cat over there. I know I'm chatting a lot. I'm sorry. It's time for coffee. All right. If you have not, please subscribe to the channel so you'll get an update when a new video posts. I hope you have a wonderful time for the rest of the evening, and I will see you next time.